Alright guys, welcome back. So we're looking at angles in polygons again. We're going to take a little bit more of a real world approach here and maybe up the ante a bit with some word problems. So the first question here asks, the interior angles of which sine have a sum of 360? So this one right here, we already said that the sum of all triangles is going to be 360 degrees. Alright, so we can probably move away from that one. That one's going to be out. So let's go to the one that's four-sided. We'll just go right down the line because we have 8-sided, 3, 5, and then 4. So we'll go to the 4. So remember the formula is n minus 2 times 180. Alright, and we're looking for the sum of all the angles inside. So this is a four-sided figure. So 4 minus 2 times 180, and then we know that 4 minus 2 is 2 times 180. Well, boom, right there, 360 degrees. So the correct answer is the one-way sign would be the sign that has a sum of 360 degrees. Okay, so for this one they're saying what is the sum of the interior angles of a stop sign? So that's right here. Hopefully at this point we know that a stop sign is 8-sided figure, so we're going to use our n minus 2 times 180 once again, and representing the number of sides, in this case it's 8. Alright, so then we do 8 minus 2, which is 6. Okay, and then we're going to multiply that by 180. And 6 times 180 is 1080. So our answer for that would be 1080 degrees. Alright, question 3 here is similar to question 1. It's stating the interior angles of which sine have a sum of 540 degrees. Well, if you were following along at all for question 1, we already stated that the yield sign is going to be 180 degrees because it's a triangle. Question 1 asked which one has an interior angle sum of 360. We found that it was this one. So it's between the stop sign and this one. And number 2, we found that the sum of the interior angles was 1080. So most likely it's going to be the people crossing sign. So let's try that one. We'll do our math just to make sure. So we have 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 times 180. And sure enough, it's 540 degrees. Right, number 4. If a yield sign, which is right here, is a regular polygon, what is the measure of each angle? Each angle. So if you're saying 180 degrees already, you're incorrect, because we're looking for each angle, each one of these. We've already stated that it's 180, and we did that by doing 3 minus 2. This is our n minus 2 times 180 formula. 1 times 180 is 180. But if we want to find out how much each angle is, well, there's 3 angles there. We divide by 3. And sure enough, equilateral triangle, as this is, our final answer would be 60 degrees. Alright, and then for this one here, it says a triangle with 3 unequal sides is a scalene triangle, which hopefully by 7th grade middle school you know that a scalene triangle has 3 unequal sides, but a scalene triangle also has 3 unequal angles. So, which angle can form a scalene triangle? Well, our choices that you'll see are, let's get rid of that. Whoops. Alright, so our choices are A, which is 50, 60, and 65. Alright, our next choice is 50, 60, and 70, all degrees. Our third choice C here is 110, 40, 40. Okay. And then our last choice is 20, 20, 40. Whoops. 20, 20, 40. Well, scalene triangle, 3 unequal angles. So that means C can be crossed out because these two are equal, 40 and 40, and D can be crossed out because 20 and 20 are equal. Alright, now these look like they could both be possible choices, but remember, All triangles, no matter if they're equilateral, scalene, isosceles, all have to equal 180 degrees. So let's go to B here. 50 plus 60 plus 70. All right, in order for this to be a winner, it has to be equal to 180 degrees, and sure enough, it is 180 degrees, so our answer is going to be B. Alright, this question reads, a design on a belt shows a row of irregular pentagons, which means it still has 5 sides, but they're not all equal. Okay, you can see here that this is a pentagon, but not an equal pentagon or a regular pentagon. Two of the angles measure 60 degrees. Alright, so they measure 60 degrees. Alright, another angle measures 270. Alright, if the remaining angles are equal, what are their measures? Well, we found before that if we do the n, which in this case is going to be 5, minus 2 times 180, times the 180, we have 3 times 180, which is 540. So that means that some of these angles should equal 540. Okay, so they equal 120, 120, so that's 390. And then we do what we're going to add it to, which we don't know. So it has to equal 540, because remember the sum of the interior angles is 540. We subtract 390 from both sides. What we end up getting is 150. Now be careful, that is not the correct answer. It's 2 angles that we're looking for, so that means we have to divide this by 2. Remember, because that's just 1 angle. We want to know 2 and they're equal, so it would have to be 75 degrees. You may want to rewind that one back to go over. Alright, this question here says, what is the missing angle measure of a triangle with angles 62, 72? Well, once again, we know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is always 180 degrees. We got that by 3, because it's a triangle, minus 2 times 180. Alright, once again, we're using that formula. So what we can do is take 82, we'll subtract 62. Right? So 82 minus 62, I believe, is 118. And then we'll take 118, subtract the 72. This is all, whoops, let me get rid of that. 72. Alright, and then that's 6, 46. So the remaining angle has to be this, because these are your other 2 angles. So the sum of all those together have to equal 180, so the missing one has to be D. Alright, and this will be our last one. This is a fun one. It says, on a door is a sign that says, welcome to our home. The sign is in the shape of a regular octagon, so I tried to do my best to draw an octagon here for you. Basically a stop sign. What is the measure of one of the interior angles? So, we know we had a similar question before that the total interior angles, we're using our n minus 2 times 180 again, is going to be 1080. However, that is not our final answer because we need to find out what one of these is, right? Each one, if they're all the same. So you do 1080. Alright, 1080, let's see, erase that. 1080, and we're going to divide. What will we divide by? Well, the number of sides. This is 8. So 1080 divided by 8 is going to get us 135. So our final answer should be 135.